What is up? It's Susie from HeyGrillHey.com, and today we're making some Memphis-style ribs. We're cooking these kind of hot, kind of fast, no wrap, a happy little spritz, but the real magic happens with this homemade Memphis-style dry rub seasoning. The only question left is, are you taking yours wet or dry? Todd and I have traveled to Tennessee quite a few times. We've been to Memphis in May. We've traveled through the country on a road trip and stopped in Memphis. And I really love a Memphis-style rib. They've got a little bit of a bite to them, a great texture. And we like to take ours dry when we're in Memphis or in Tennessee because we love that little crunchy of that crispy seasoning on top. And it's pretty different than a lot of other rib styles we've had eating barbecue across the country. So I'm gonna walk you through my version of a Memphis-style rib with the homemade dry rub seasoning. This seasoning is pretty simple to put together. You'll probably have most of these things in your pantry. We're gonna start with 3 tablespoons of kosher salt, 3 tablespoons of smoked paprika. This gives you a base smoky flavor for your seasoning, as well as beautiful color. 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. This is less brown sugar than you'll see in a majority of barbecue seasonings. This is not primarily a sweet rub, but it does have a little bit of sweetness to it. A tablespoon of black pepper, 2 teaspoons each of garlic powder and onion powder, and 1 teaspoon each of celery seed, oregano, and mustard powder. Now these 3 things I think really set a Memphis-style rub apart. They're a little bit herby, definitely savory, and they give a nice tang to the seasoning blend. Give that a little mixy mix with your fingers until everything's well combined and you don't have any chunks of brown sugar. All right, you're gonna be using about 4 tablespoons of your rub on 2 racks of baby back ribs. These have the membranes removed and I've just trimmed off the end bone that's a little bit skinny and won't cook as evenly. And this rub goes directly on your ribs. Like I said, we're gonna be using about 4 tablespoons total, but we're only gonna be using 3 tablespoons to season. We're gonna save some for the end as a nice little finishing powder. Press that seasoning blend into your ribs with your fingertips. We want as much to adhere as possible. And we're gonna flip over and season the other side. Our ribs are looking a little bit juicy. The seasoning has mostly absorbed. There's still some flecks of salt. I'm not super worried about it. We're gonna pop those on the smoker at 275 degrees, and we're not going to look at them for another hour. But when we do look at them, we're going to spritz them with a mixture of apple juice and apple cider vinegar. We're gonna do half a cup of each, give it a little shake, and then we'll be spritzing these throughout the cooking process. It's a little bit full. Look at.
It's gonna spill.
I did a bad thing.
Where's the straw?
No, Todd. All right, fill it a normal amount and not too full like I did. Screw your cap on, give it a little shake, and then like I said, after the first hour, we start spritzing, and we spritz every 30 to 60 minutes. All right, spritz is ready. Let's get these ribs on the smoker. Like I said, 275 degrees. The entire cook time is probably gonna take about 4.5-ish hours, but that varies based on how thick your ribs are. So we're gonna be monitoring temperatures and looking for some other signs of doneness. Hickory wood is my favorite wood to use for Memphis-style ribs. I asked my friend Carrie Bringle what he uses on his pork ribs, and he said hickory all day long. And he would know. He runs Peg Leg Porker in Nashville, Tennessee, which I know is not Memphis, but I think he makes some of the best dry rub ribs I've ever had in my entire life, so I'm gonna count it. We're just about 4 hours into our Memphis-style rib cook, and our ribs are actually quite close. I'm not exactly ready to pull them off yet, maybe another half hour, but I'm seeing all of the signs that I'm looking for My ribs are reading at a temperature between 195 and 200, which I really like. They still feel a little bit tight, so I think I'm gonna push them closer up to that 200 zone. We are seeing some pullback from the bones, not as much as if you're doing a wrapped or a braised rib, but we're seeing it pull back a little bit, and we're seeing this bend. When we lift up the ribs with our tongs, it's kind of a little bit bendy, but it doesn't break apart. We get some nice splitting in the meat right there. Those are all great visual cues and texture cues that our ribs are coming along beautifully. I think maybe, like I said, another half hour and we'll be ready to go. Ribs are done. Look how beautiful. I'm obsessed with the color that we got on these baby backs. Between the smoke and the spritz and the paprika and the seasoning, this is just a pile of mahogany meaty goodness. Now, in Memphis, you can order your ribs wet or dry. If we were doing wet ribs, you would baste with your favorite barbecue sauce, but I'd actually cut my barbecue sauce with my apple juice and apple cider vinegar mixture to thin it out a little bit, give it a little bit more tanginess, and that would be more representative of a Memphis style sauce in my experience. Now, we're doing dry rub ribs because that's what Todd likes, and Todd usually gets what he likes. So we're gonna sprinkle our finished ribs with just a light dusting of some of our seasoning that we set aside from earlier. This will add a great punch of flavor on the top of our ribs right when we take a bite, but it's also gonna look awesome. Somehow these smell even better than they look, and we've reached my favorite part of the day, the part where Todd and I get to eat some of these beautiful ribbies. This is a skinny guy on the end, but look at that cross section. We've got some great smoke, some nice mahogany color on the outside. I mean, nailed the texture. Absolutely nailed it. That dry rub does something that you're not gonna get from a sauced rib. It gives you a crisp on the outside, and then that melt away, fatty, delicious, smoky rib meat on the inside. This is a rib to be remembered. I hope I did Memphis proud. I know I'm not from Memphis, but I just love it so much that I wanted to make ribs like you guys do. All right, I'm gonna take another bite after I tell you guys all of the important things. Like, this is the whole point of everything we do. Make better barbecue, feed the people that you love, become a backyard barbecue hero. If you feel so inclined, we'd love to have you join us in the Grill Squad. It's our online barbecue community and family. We also have the Hey Grill Hey app where you can find all of our recipes, or you can head to heygrillhey.com for further instructions, printable versions of the recipes, or, you know, hit that subscribe button so you can be updated every time we post something new. It's time for Taste Test Todd to come on in here, don't you think?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. All right, you can't have this one, this is mine. I cut you a little guy.
Dude, it's so small.
The
I
ends.
like sauce on my ribs, I do. I just
I
like
know.
dry ribs better.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, it's perfect, dude. Oh. That's good, man. Winner, winner.
Guys,
Rib dinner.
actually so good.
Holy cow.
They're perfect.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Rib dance. Rib dance. Everybody do the rib dance.
My brain just all day is just like various clips of TikTok songs now,
Yeah.
I believe.
Will you talk about what you just did by that smoke?
Oh, yeah.